Testing. Okay. You are probably muted.
Yeah,
Okay,
got it.
there you are. Perfect. So depending on if anyone comes, we may want to use this video because the other one is like 15 minutes of us just talking that it starts.
Okay, I'll cut it down.
No,
Sometimes
I'm at 15 minutes of just you and I talking to each other. Like, can you access Grade? I cannot. So maybe, I don't know if I can trim it, but if not, I'll just be like, video starts at like this point. Like we're
sounds
fine
good.
when we're explaining, but it's just going back and forth like as we're waiting for it to start.
Yeah, I got back onto Gradebook and it's all up again. So
Okay. We'll figure that out then.
yeah, but this Flipgrid is so stinking cute.
Oh, you're getting it?
Yeah, because I've been this week I'm just focusing on like social skills and emotional. So I did like a Nearpod on stress and
Mm-hmm.
kind of did a Flipgrid of what helps them like relax and not feel so stressed. And
Oh.
it was really, really cute. So just talking about emotional health this week is kind of the focus. So it's super cute. Hi, Denise.
So we have you on mute when you come in. So if you want to say something, you have to look at the little microphone icon and unmute yourself. And I'm not sure because I didn't realize you can do this on a cell phone. So it might be a little bit different on cell phones.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I love the Flipgrid. When I first started seeing the Flipgrids roll in, I got a little emotional too. I was like, whoa.
Oh, they're so stinking cute. I didn't realize how much I missed them.
Yeah. So we're just going to wait a few more minutes and then we'll go ahead and get started. I'm interested in knowing if Miss Jackson's Zoom conference, how that will go to get the kids familiar.
Yeah, that's so great that she's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't delete the assignments on Google Classroom or you can't archive them. So I was Googling on how to archive that. So I'm just gonna like create another topic of past assignments and just move it down there on Sunday nights.
Okay.
So
That's a good idea. Yeah, for me, I don't need the record on Google, so I'm just replacing them.
yeah.
I did also realize that you can reuse assignments and just change a few details, and then it creates like another assignment, so you don't have to start from scratch.
Well, that's nice.
I've been doing that.
That's cool. Mm-hmm.
So we'll give it a few more minutes, Denise, but then if it ends up just being a private session, then that is bonus for you to get all your questions answered. Mackenzie.
Yeah.
I have a message from Asher's mom that says they're trying to join, but having some problems. So let me see if I can send her the link again.
Okay.
And then we can get started.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I'm not sure how to. So apparently it looks like you can click on the link and do it in your phone.
Okay. So for Denise and Mackenzie that just got on, if you want to unmute yourselves and be able to talk to us, just go down to the corner and scroll, take your little arrow and scroll down to the very corner of the screen. You'll see a microphone. If you click that microphone, it should open it up so you can talk to us as well.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Hi, you guys. Good to
Okay.
see you.
Hi.
We're just gonna wait for one more parent. Miss Selska's gonna help them out.
So I think Asher actually is trying to get onto the Zoom for the kids. She's talking about Miss Jackson.
Oh,
Let her
gotcha.
work with that.
Gotcha.
So go ahead and keep going.
So if you scroll along the bottom of the screen, it should pop up. You'll see the microphone, the video. If you keep moving toward the right, you'll see a icon for a chat button. If you open that up, as we're going through the tutorial today, if you have any questions as we're talking, feel free to enter into the chat box any questions that might pop up, and we can address them as we're talking. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and get started. So
Okay.
I think I have seen, so I know Zala and Madeline, I think I've just seen you guys submit work. So you've made it onto Google Classroom, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and then do a quick rundown of just a few assignments that have been giving people the most trouble. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So am I sharing it?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So getting into
Yes.
the classroom, I'll be going over English, and then April can do the Chinese. So here I have some important information here. This will just kind of give you a rundown of basically everything we're saying right now, and just a video if you want to reference it later. But basically the way we're just organizing it is uploading assignments by day. And so all of these assignments should be completed on this day. But we know schedules are different and things are hectic right now. So assignments will be opened on the day that like at 8 a.m. on Tuesday, 8 a.m. on Wednesday, and then they'll stay live until Sunday. So if you miss a day or you're falling behind, you need more time, you need the weekend, we'll keep everything up until Sunday. But then on Sunday, we'll need to move things around to make room for the next week. So just know you have that flexibility. You won't see any days until the assignments appear. So Monday's already appeared, Tuesday, and then
Okay.
Wednesday will pop up on Wednesday. So basically for English, it's pretty just simple. We're keeping it to phonics lesson, writing, and then reading comprehension. So with phonics, they're just gonna watch a quick phonics video. This is exactly what we would be doing in the classroom. And then they have their boom card activity. So this is really, really important for the learning how to read. So if you're really wanting to strengthen that skill, getting to learn how to read, that's like very, very important for those right there. And then we have a writing assignment, which will be done on Nearpod.
Okay.
One of the things though that one of the moms did that I thought was a great idea was she kind of wanted to go back and forth between digital and writing. So she actually is using these up here, printable resources, and she's using basically printing these at home and just typing in what her daughter is writing. So if you feel like, you know, this is really heavy on technology, I'd like them to practice their penmanship, you can go ahead and do that. And then when you open up their Nearpod assignment, you as the mom can just type in their topic sentence and what they wrote. So that's an option for you if you just want to go back and forth with traditional and blended learning. And then here's where we have the most problems.
Okay.
So reading comprehension. So these two things are going together. So this is the story that they should be reading to make their video on this page. So I will list the name of the story right here. So this week, this day, it's going to be Rooster and Goose, and then I'll also list it here, read Rooster and Goose. So I'm just going to walk you in how to go in. You just click on the portal, and then you'll need to put in their 9 number. So most of them know their 9 number, but if you don't, you can email me and I'll give it to you. And then the password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So their 9 number and the password. And then once they get in there, they should have the Wonders tab already there. If not, you can type Wonders up here and you can find it that way. So then once you click on Wonders, then let's get it going. Then you'll click on the Wonders, the red squirrel, and then he'll be ready to go. And then now this is the student center. So the main place you want to be is in the books. That's where you're going to find all the stories. So you see last week's story was Super Tools, and then I said Rooster and Goose. So here's Rooster and Goose. That's what we want them to read today. And then sometimes you will have to swipe to the side to get all the books. So we may not go through all the books throughout the week, but I will let you know which one. I think tomorrow I said March On. So that's the one that you want there. So this is really just the only place that you need to come in for Wonders to find the books. This is what I'm talking about. So then once they read the book, then they can go to the Flipgrid and tell about the book that they just read. That was just the biggest misconception I saw, was that people were making videos about different, they weren't quite sure which book to choose or just reading a different book. And at this point, that was fine. Just go ahead and start making the videos. But if you can start getting those exact books, then that will help. And basically that's it for English. I think, for here too, for the readers, this is going to be really good for fluency. I think I've sent this home before. This is this units. If you want to print these, and you can see like we're on unit 6, week 1. And then next week we'll be on week 2. You can print these and just have them practice fluency at home too. So that's just an option for you as well.
Do you want to show them to mark as done once they've completed?
I forgot about that. So once you're going through the assignments, please just make sure that you view the assignment. And then after they do it, you mark it as done. You don't need to attach anything here. We just want to mark it as done, because that's going to give us a quick way to see who's done it. And then that's where we can leave feedback. So we kind of discovered that as kids were doing their like writing, I could see everything on Nearpod, but I didn't have a way to communicate back to them. So if you were to do this assignment, mark it as done, then it comes to me and I can write back some notes to you or to the students, giving them feedback. So that will just help a lot. Just make sure that you mark the assignments as done. Okay, do you want to go ahead and go? Oh, are there any questions for English right now?
I have a quick question. For the one where their password was their first name and then their class color.
Yes.
What would Madeline's be, since there's 2 Madelines?
Yes, I can double check for you. I think we might have did Madeline Gray.
Okay.
So, Madeline Gray Red. So I will look. I'll double check that for you. We did have an issue with that, and I know that some of the other Madelines asked me just to put the letters. I can't remember if I put Madeline G or Madeline Gray. So let me just get that message to you as soon as maybe as April's talking, I'll look it up.
Thanks.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Do you have any other questions for the English side? Are we good?
I think that's all mine.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
All right. Can you unshare your screen?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Oh, yay. There's Miss Caroline. It's good to see you. So
before we go, since we have Caroline here,
Yeah.
did we get the slingshot thing figured out with the Wonders? Are you able?
I haven't, but I haven't tried it again today. I'll go on, and if I can't, then I'll check out a Chromebook for her.
Okay, because I've only heard of that issue. I know what you're talking about. Slingshot has happened to a coworker before, and that's something that we need to ask the tech support for.
Right. Okay. Well, and I'm fine to just check out a Chromebook if it's easier anyway. She's familiar with it. Or will they send out another email about checkout times?
I don't think so. I think at this point you will just have to go in during office
That's
hours.
fine.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute since we've got lots of here.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so as far as Chinese is going to go, I've been trying to wrap my brain around how to best do this, especially with the oral language and social language. so much of what I do and how I teach is play-based, and for me to be able to give direct feedback and in that moment and correcting their Chinese. So I've been waiting for Mandarin Matrix and I haven't heard back. So I'm feeling that Zoom is going to be the best platform that I can meet with groups at a time. And so on Thursday, I'll be setting up a Zoom time for a morning and an afternoon. So you can choose which time of the day works best. They'll be the same session. I will put the links on Dojo for parents to join, and also on Google Classroom in the announcements in the stream section. I'll list that as well. Once again, both sessions will be the same, but it's just a matter of working with parents' flexibility, because I know parents are now a teacher, but also a working professional, and trying to keep that balance. I'm trying to keep my schedule open for all situations. And so I'm so glad that you guys are on here and getting familiar with Zoom, so you can help your child kind of log in and navigate it. Little kids, especially first graders, they're quick learners. And so once they get practice a couple times, they are a lot faster than adults. And so hopefully that will help with the social language, and that I can be able to interact with them in a group setting, but also correct them in the moment. I will also be doing videos on YouTube of the stories and other Chinese lessons. The tricky part is, once again, just with videos, I can't get feedback and I don't know what they're practicing at home. So we'll be doing a lot of Zoom, probably a couple times of the week. So we're gonna first try on Thursday. I'll do a morning session and afternoon session. It will just be a practice. The tricky thing about doing this with first graders is, one, managing them and making sure it's not a complete meltdown, and for them to actually be following along with me and participating. And so this is a learning opportunity for everybody. And so we're really grateful for your guys' patience and working with us during this time. This is all new. And so we really want to make sure we're the best support for you and your child at home. So that's kind of where we're at with Chinese right now. The more I can figure things out, I will update you as time goes along. As far as math, I'm just going to run through real quickly on how to access Go Math and some of the materials that you'll find on their Go Math account. So let me share my screen. Okay, so just as a reminder, when you log on to Go Math, you'll be typing in both their student number for both the username and the password. I know with the Ground Up portal it's 123456 for the password. For Go Math is both the student number, the 9 number for both the username and the password. So I know I've had a few parents get stuck on that. In the Google Classroom, it will list it of what you need to be doing in the order. So it will first say, go to My Library. You come down here to Interactive Student Edition. This week we're focusing on Chapter 9 and then Lesson 9.6 or Lesson 9.7. And it will give a lesson for them to go through and practice with your child. And then you can also kind of, ask them, what did you learn, and things like that. Fortunately, we're in first grade, so we're not having to deal with calculus and math, and it's pretty straightforward. But if you have any questions on how to teach a concept, let me know, and I can do a one-on-one session with your child if there's still confusion. Once they're done with that, some of the lessons, not all of them, I will list it on Google Classroom. Some of the lessons will have a lesson with Curious George. So it will list it on Google Classroom whether to do Curious George or not. But for lesson 9.6, there is a Curious George lesson. You just click on the puzzle piece, you click allow, and I believe we're on lesson 41. So you just click on the tab and start on lesson 41, and they know how to do that. It gives them opportunity to practice online, and it gives them a short little quiz afterwards. Once they've completed the Interactive Student Edition, then they always go to their Things to Do list. Here is all their lessons assigned. And this is really important that when they do the lesson, goes to activity, that once they're done answering each question, they can click check the answer, so they're just not rushing through it, and they can check their work as they're moving along. But once they've answered all the questions, they need to make sure to click this button that says turn it in. That will give me, it will automatically score it and grade it right afterwards, and will send me the results so I know what's happening and I can track their progress. So please make sure that they click that button, turn it in. Otherwise it goes unscored and it's not recorded. Once they've clicked turn it in, you can go and look over here on my scores, and it will tell you exactly what they're scoring and where they're at. So if you can see if they're just playing around or if they need to go back and retake it, I can reassign it and things like that. Just one last thing with Go Math. I know some parents don't necessarily want to do everything online, and so there are worksheets that you can print off and have them practice with pencil and paper. So you just go back to My Library. And this one is a little bit tricky, and so Mrs. Reese is going to record this. So if you get stuck or if you forget how to forget the steps, this will be recorded and you can go back and watch. And so if you're wanting to print off worksheets for them to practice, you just go to the Go Math Student Edition. You click on that. Then, sorry, it's a little slow. Initially, when you first do it, you're going to have to go through the table of contents and find the page number that we're on. So lesson 9 and 9.6, we start on page 543, and you'll find that in the table of contents, and then you just press go and it will take you to that lesson. So here are all the worksheets that are printable, but this is the tricky part. If you want to print these off, you have to go to resources, click on lesson level resources, and go to homework practice. Click on textbook, and then it will come up as a PDF for you. Once it comes up as a PDF, then you can print it from home, if that's what you would like to do. So another couple resources, if you look on here, and they also have a book where you can have some STEM activities that go along with the lessons, that are also some parents are interested in doing as well. So that's as far as Go Math. And so once you're done with the assignment, have your child go back to classwork, and once again, here are the directions. Once they've completed the Go Math lesson, they go to view assignment and then mark as done. And that will also help me keep track of what's been turned in and what hasn't. Once they're done with that, and so that's kind of pretty much where we're at with math right now. I will be posting things for art as well. It's really important, I believe, really firmly in the arts can really help them, especially if they're feeling anxious during this time, but also helps with their fine motor skills, their spatial visualization skills. So I've just added another tab up here for art resources. This website is a great resource for ideas you can be doing with art at home with your child. And I also really love the YouTube channel Arts for Kids Hub. Has some really great directed drawing practices, which I will also be posting. On my my Google page, on my Google Classroom at the top, these are all just resources and quick references of the materials that we will be using. But very similar to Mrs. Reese, I'll have things posted a day at a time. I will be consistent with her as well. I will post it the day of at 8 at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I will leave it open till Sunday evening. Then I will, once that's done, I will have a topic, another space down here for archive assignments that I will just keep down there, because once I delete it, it's completely gone. So, but once again, it will for each day, the assignment will be listed at 8 a.m. and we'll put the due date till Sunday evening. So, and then just make sure with each assignment, once again, you put new assignment and mark is done. Mackenzie, do you have a question?
Nope, I think I got it.
Okay.
Oh, I do have a question. Their password for it, it's their student number, but is that the 9-digit number that they have memorized?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So whenever we say the 9 number, that's just their student number that we're referring
Great.
to. So there's a lot of numbers, a lot of different passwords. So it's a good question. So any question is a good question. This is a lot. So, so are there any questions right now for with the math or Chinese? Okay.
No.
Awesome. So we're going to go back to Mrs. Reese.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to, there we go. Yeah, am I here? Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, so definitely the one thing that we just want to communicate is we understand that this is a lot, and you have your own working schedules. It's not gonna, it's gonna feel like it's a lot on you right now having to navigate all of this, but really if you just spend the time to really read through all the directions and all the resources that we put there for you, it's designed in a way to really put the weight on the students, so that they can go through and navigate, and it's just going to take them a couple days to get through their system, but we're being very intentional about being the same every day, kind of the same format, everything, the same logins, and it's just very intentional. It's just going to feel a heavy on you right now, which is how it is with teachers in the beginning of the school year. It's just that first couple of days, and then we've designed it in a way to not have to be so heavy on the parents. So just hang in there for a few days. But you know, with the new announcement that we're here till May 1st, like it's not going to be like this throughout the entire month of April. It's just going to become more routine. It's just this first part of having to navigate the things, and then it becomes muscle memory for them. So we're keeping the same format. Everything's going to be the same. It's just going to be different content, but everything will be the same for them each day. So thank you so much for all of your help. Miss Ridge did say that she wants to get going Zoom conferences for Chinese, and I'm working with our literacy coach to get small groups going for reading. And so that would look a little bit different. It wouldn't be able to be as open-ended. It had to be very designated times for each group, because I really would like time to work with them at their level, make sure that they're working with the words that they need to be practicing, and then even eventually thinking further down, scheduling individual time to kind of do their DIBELS assessments. We're not quite sure what the restriction, like if that has been, I know the state has released a lot of state testing, but I still believe like we know what their goals were supposed to be, and we still want them to hit it. So I still would like a chance to read with them every so often and monitor their progress and make sure that they're still on track to get to the original goal we set at the beginning of the year. So this next week though is just, again, I think Miss Ridge and I went in, get through the first 2 weeks, and then May 1st, April is when we're really going to try to get down to the nitty gritty and make sure that they are getting their direct instruction. Yeah. So if there are any general questions, go ahead and ask us now. If not, we did record this whole meeting, and so we will be able to send this to parents that didn't get to come to the meeting, or if you want to refer back to all those Go Math steps, you can reference that video as well.
And also, if you have any questions, if you're still getting stuck, we're happy to do some one-on-one. We can meet with you one-on-one on Zoom again and walk you through things as well. So we're here as a support for you and your child. And so once again, every question is a good question. So we're happy to help you with whatever we can do. So it's really good to see you, Aurora.
Hey, I know. Hi, Aurora.
I can't believe how much I missed all of you guys. So anyway, any further questions or comments on things? We're good? Okay.
That's good.
All right. Well, have a good afternoon, you
thank
guys.
you.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, I don't think we have any more questions, so I'm going to go ahead and just end the meeting, and we might end up just posting this meeting
Okay.
since it's a
Yeah.
little bit more condensed. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Okay. All right. Thanks,
Bye.
Welcome.